And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This is Odie as we're into Tuesday.
Golly, already.
We got some angry crows outside the studio this morning that seem to be fighting over something.
They'll be all right. They're just sitting there whining.
Having them a fit. You know, we talk about somewhere we want to bring this because you're a real big advocate of this, of riptides.
Yeah, it's, you know, people are always saying, well, we don't have riptides here. And you're right, we don't, because we don't have a ocean. But here again, this past weekend, we've had 4 people die needlessly of rip currents because people do not understand the power of a rip current, what a rip current is, how to get out of a rip current. I had a young child get caught up in a rip current. Instead of parents teaching kids what to do, child panics, father goes in, rescues a child, he loses his life.
Oh, how horrible.
3 over in Florida. That story was in Fort Morgan. 3 over Panhandle of Florida. Around Gulf Shores, I think is where it was. I was trying to find the story. A family, very near 4 people in their family died. They made it out.
And we say this because you're headed to the beaches. We know that during the summertime, so many of us here exits. Yeah. You let a holiday come up, you won't find a soul there.
And the people from that area do not die of rip currents because they teach kids in school about rip currents. And I'm working on trying to get something in our schools.
Yeah, that'd be good.
To talk to them. It's the people who live up north that go down there and die because they don't know what they're getting into.
Y'all be careful as you do that. About 40 minutes ago, we got word of an accident on Highway 16 West out past the casinos. Traffic was kind of blocked there for a little while. We have not gotten an update, but this was the scene of what we know was going on. Highway 16, about right here. Here's the resort. A car was flipped. Mississippi Highway Patrol on scene, the fire department, all those above trying to help out with the situation. As we get more, we'll do our best to update that as the morning going along. I would think by now the roadway is cleared where you can get by. So something to think on as you're waking up and get started. Today, interestingly, flyover.
Oh man, this is going to be something. Talking about our community being known for something. The Key brothers, what they've done for aviation, what's done here as far as refueling, and now we're going to have a special flyover honoring 100 years.
9:15 this morning.
So yeah,
they say the best view will be from the 3-Foot Hotel up top. If you could make it up there, if you want to go see that would be a great view of that. But it's going to be a lot. They'll do it in different areas of the state. But today, 9 o'clock, 9:15 will happen downtown Meridian. If you're in an office building and can't get out, walk out to the street or lean out your windows. They're going to demonstrate as they fly over to do this over Meridian. And
it's going to be neat.
Invented here, and look where it is gone.
I mean, this is something that Meridian's known for, especially in the aviation world. Meridian and Lauderdale County's got a lot of stuff that started right here, from airline to firefighting to all kind of stuff. So support this if you can.
Yeah, and that's this morning right around 9:15. Gulf Coast, Pascagoula is going to be 9:45 if you're watching from that area. Vicksburg at 10:40. Fayetteville, Arkansas at high noon. And then they even go as far up to New Orleans. 2 o'clock this afternoon, they'll do a demonstration over New Orleans if you're going to be watching from there. So
Pretty doggone good. We got a birthday.
Ooh, we got to say good morning from St. Louis, Missouri. Joy Robinson watching us from there.
Yeah, thank you for being here. I had a friend live there, and now her and her husband moved to Florida.
A lot of people do that.
Hey, you know. So we got to marry, let me find it.
Right there.
Marianne. Happy birthday, Marianne. Wow.
Hope it's a big one there for you. If you haven't given us your birthday yet, feel free to put that in the comments and we'll get that along to you.
Yeah.
Lots to discuss of what's gone on over the last 24 hours. We'll get to that in a moment. But one thing that we want to make sure that we stress today is about how hot it's going to be. It's going to be one of those days where you can be dehydrated before you know what happens. You know, you get out early and you stay out there, you go, I got 20 more minutes to do this. And you keep going, you push yourself. Next thing you know, you could fall out from excessive heat. And today is going to be a booger bear, Odie, as we look at this.
And this is going to be something. This is where you need to be drinking water. And some electrolyte is good to have mixed in with some water, but water, that's your key. We do not need to not drink and get out in this heat. Sweat. Make sure that you're sweating. Make sure that you are urinating. That's a key. If you're not urinating, you're not drinking enough water.
Right.
And
if you can't sweat, just call your wife.
If you can't sweat, yeah.
That'll make you sweat. And this is not going to get better, Odie. Look at this toward the end of the week. This is moving from Thursday to Saturday, and look at this. Meridian is a level 3, and for our friends in Scott and Jasper County, you're a level 4. Now, that's bad.
That's getting on up there, and this is very dangerous. It could lead to death if you're not careful. You start getting clammy, you start getting lightheaded, it's time to get in. Get under the shade, get inside.
Now, to the west of Meridian, we're going to have some severe weather today also, just west of here. The Meridian area will be good here in Lauderdale County and Clark County and Kemper County, but just to the west, let's just pull this up for all of you that picks up right around the Veteran Cemetery back west toward Jackson in that area, center of Jasper County and back west over there and through the city limits of Philadelphia. You could see this somewhere between 9 to 2 today. Now, tomorrow will be a little bit worse as we glance at tomorrow's outlook. Severe weather also slated for tomorrow, Odie, there. And a lot of Lauderdale County, this takes in the city of Meridian tomorrow. And Enterprise area, all these areas down to Pachuta, back up to Winston County. Look at all of this here of Newton County and portions of Kemper also. I'd put that at Cleveland and Kemper County back west to the state line. We could see a level 2 tomorrow.
A level 2, and that's what we call lobster weather.
Yeah.
Because once it stops raining with this heat that we've got, it will steam you.
We really should go over and talk with the National Weather Service. Let me pull this back up. The reason I say that is you look at this, a level 2, a slight risk. I mean, come on. Could we come up? That makes you think, well, there's nothing to it.
Yeah, and that could be.
Yeah.
Especially when you got hail a quarter size. I don't want to get hit by one.
But
that's not a slight.
Not to me. I don't know what they were thinking. And then even when you get into that level 5, it doesn't spook you. You need something that makes you go, oof.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is death ray weather here.
Evidently, they didn't have a redneck naming this stuff. Mainly somebody similar to me. We could really change things for the National Weather Service.
You'll think twice before you go outside without an umbrella.
Without a doubt. Already 8 minutes after the hour, we're going to tell you about a bank robbery that occurred in broad daylight in Lauderdale County. That's next as we start your Tuesday.
Tate's Fireworks in Marion is open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m., and again on July the 4th from 8 a.m. until. They offer professional-grade fireworks at a low, low price. Video monitors placed throughout the store to demonstrate how their products will perform in the sky. Tate's Fireworks has lowered prices on their high-quality fireworks. Be sure to check out their buy one, get one bins, and remember, they guarantee no duds at Tate's. Shop local with Jeff Tate and family at Tate's Fireworks in Marion.
Have you been wanting your own building, your own shed? Speak to our friends at Best Sadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, best Sadia buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk. Garrett Outfitters on 8th Street is getting you ready for summertime. A large selection of cool hobo shirts. Maybe it's short sleeves. Maybe you need a pair of shorts. If you're going to be cutting grass or maybe riding a tractor this summer, you're going to need a straw hat to keep cool. And as you head to that favorite fishing hole, don't forget you'll need a pocket knife along with a great rod and reel. And if you earn your living in the woods, don't forget to check out their big selection of snake boots, Carhartt pants and shirts for any occasion. It's Garrett Outfitters, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Good morning and welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray Report, and as I glanced up at LaWanda's comment, I read it wrong.
Body armor. Oh, no. Here we go.
I thought she was saying ways to keep safe and go get you some bulletproof vests. Actually, she was talking about hydration and drinks with electrolytes in it. But I read that wrong to begin with. I was going to go, you go, LaWanda.
Oh, look, Kelby Cole.
What we got?
Lauderdale Emergency 911 is hiring and need people. Great retirement plan. So you do get retirement plan. You get insurance. You get hourly pay. You work 12-hour shifts. You work 3 days one week, 4 days the next week. So you got a lot of time off, but it is 12 hours a day, daytime, nighttime. So come out there. It's a pretty long, I guess you could say, training period, because this is a very intensive type of work, but competitive pay, and you want to do something for yourself and have a good job.
And I would just like to
911.
Speaking very clearly is a plus.
It is.
So that the police officers can understand you well.
Yeah.
Always a plus. Always a plus.
You've got to make sense with what you say, but you've got to be able to type and talk and think and all this good stuff at the same time. So yeah,
I don't know if I can get the job, Odie. That typing thing, I sometimes have
I can one finger peck pretty good.
Yeah, I'd have people in the wrong place.
Yeah, come around back behind my building, my office. They're downstairs in the back. But come by there, put an application in.
Yeah, if you need a job, that's a great way to do that. And you do help so many people. You hear about Nationwide all the time, and we don't know really what goes on behind the scenes here, but you do help a lot of people with this job. Well, during their darkest hour, you're the voice of hope.
Comfort. Of hope.
Comfort, as you put it.
We wouldn't know what's going on. We wouldn't know where to go to help someone's life if it wasn't for our dispatchers.
That's right.
So they are the first responder's first responder. Very, very, very important to our everyday lives. So go down there and put an application in. GED's all you've got to have, but you do have to have a GED. But go down there and see if this is for you.
All right, as we mentioned, in the middle of broad daylight, lunchtime, it would be right after 12, we would get the announcement, well, something had happened, and it would be at the Citizens National Bank, Highway 39 next to Hardee's. Let's go and take a look at this. This was the scene at around 12:30 yesterday, give or take a minute or two on both sides of this, and we will see that there was an issue. Somebody robbed the bank as we go through here and look at the different pictures of the many police officers that arrived on scene. Now,
broad daylight, walked right on in, and that's a busy intersection.
Oh, yeah, it is, definitely. As we look at this, even brought the police chief out. She was on scene. Here she is coming on in. A lot of people. What is fortunate about this, and let's just go ahead and say this, no one was hurt. Now, as I had a mother contact me, she goes, my daughter worked there, and she said, I'm so thankful that you told us no one was hurt. We had a gentleman walk in wearing blue jeans, a white hoodie, and a blue mask, on foot, take an undetermined amount of money and run. He came out of Citizens, walked out, Winn-Dixie's behind him. He took a right toward what used to be a Sefco. I think that's an A&M or an A&E now. and ran toward the apartment complex there. Now, we don't know whether he stopped, went in, what happened after that. I even had a gentleman stop and tell me that, look, I was passing by and I saw the guy run out. He ran right over there. We passed that information along to police yesterday. The good news, no one hurt. But this makes, if I'm counting right, number 4 in bank robberies. And every one of these have been on foot or on a bicycle.
And we don't have any leads for any of them.
Not that I'm aware of. Now, we had the bank by Webb Funeral Home right there on the corner of 8th Street. That was robbed. Then we had the Citizens Bank on Highway 39 before you get to Bonita Auto, robbed twice. Believe that was the same guy that robbed that. This could be the same one here.
Could be. Could be.
But what they're doing, and if you will notice this, and I've talked to a lot of people as we watch crime, bicycles and foot activity is becoming one of the new ways to rob and distribute drugs and do crime in our area because they're easy to ditch and they maneuver and they blend into somebody's home and they jump into a door and they don't know where they went.
I wonder what the chances of that bicycle being stolen. So they don't care if it's if they have to ditch it or not. You know. But you talked about Big Brother earlier, and you know, I don't want anybody watching me constantly 24 hours a day. But at the same time,
establishments we needed in these areas.
We needed all these areas out in public where you can follow what's going on. This, you know, with the right camera system, this is something that could be very helpful solving these types of crimes and making our city safe again.
Now, I want to remind you, if you want to go back and watch this, I was live on the scene just to show you a thing. Here is what it looks like. You go back to our Facebook page. We were live during this, and now I've got all the views and what we knew at the time as this came out yesterday. So if you want to check that out, feel free to go to our Facebook page, Scotty Ray Report, and listen to this and watch this. Now, I always want to remind everybody when crimes happen, sometimes circumstances change of the information that we have when we first begin as to where it ends.
Right.
Always ends. But we do know, again, on foot, white hoodie. If it's June, July, and you're wearing a hoodie, something's wrong. If you ever notice that, go ahead and
start making notes of where they come from and where they're going.
That's right. Thank
Nobody
goodness.
in their right mind is going to wear, especially in this heat.
Whew.
Did you get interviewed yesterday?
Nope, not yesterday.
Okay.
I did get asked, did I know what was going on? No, I was just taking a selfie. Bunch of police cars. I thought I'd stop. And
What y'all doing? Well, at least they didn't interview you.
Not today, not today. Maybe sometime today I'll get interviews.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Now, yesterday when we were live, Odie, we had another accident. Now, this was yesterday morning. I want to remind you, this is not today. This has happened around 7:30 yesterday morning. Let's look at this. This is a dreadful sight. And I use that word because, well, it's an overturned truck. And I want to ask you about this here in just a second. As we see it's on the side, the logs are everywhere. This right here, does that save lives? Would this truck have run right on over into the other lane, possibly, if that wasn't there?
It could have been. It could have. Yes, they do. They do save lives.
That's a barrier of some sort that gives and takes. And
yeah, so those cables are excessively tight. They are. You do not cut them. You have to be extremely careful working around them. But those cables will grab onto that vehicle, and it doesn't just slingshot you back in the road, but it does keep you from crossing over into the other lane with a head-on incident.
So we don't know really how many lives this thing has saved, but we do know there's been a lot. An 18-wheeler traveling at that speed could have just plowed right on in.
Yeah, and it tremendously is a good idea. Once it's all said and done and you're having to work around it, it does get a little bit of, when you hear a ting, you kind of
want to move.
You want to look and you want to move, but
I didn't think about that.
They've definitely done that. But the Tenson tension on those is enormous.
And just from the redneck side of things, folks, I want to remind you of this also, because there's many of us that get stuck in mud holes. Always watch those winches when you're winching something out of a cable breaking and that hook not gripping right and coming by your head. I've seen some close calls through the years. Always step away from that.
And get a towel and throw over that cable. And that towel will absorb that tension. And if it does snap, that cable's more likely to just fall straight down than it is to whip around.
Is that where purses being thrown at you or swung at you too?
Hey, anything.
Scotty Ray and Odie.
Throw a towel on it.
Morning. We'll be right back with more.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Folks, if your yard is needing grass and you need it quick, talk to our friends at Coates Hydro Seeding. They offer residential and commercial. The great thing about this, it doesn't wash, the water treads, and it holds the soil in place. It's the easiest way to grow grass. That's hydro seeding. You'll get a great looking lawn without all the dry spots. How many times have you put out seed and it gets washed away, blown away, or even the birds eat it? Talk to our friends at Coates Hydro Seeding, 601-728-1954. Are you looking for a job that could last a lifetime? Structural Steel is hiring now. With employees that have been there from 20 to 40 years, they're family owned and operated since 1975. Competitive starting wages, a 401k package, and great insurance. Immediate openings on the day shift and night shift. From entry-level helpers, welding and tacking, grinding and fitting. And the list goes on of job openings. Hey, it's Structural Steel. Call 483-5381. Check them out. They're hiring today. If you need a job, Structural Steel. From trained jobs to, well, just getting your foot in the door. They've got all types of jobs available right now. Drop in and visit with them. See Mike Evans. He'll tell you more about it. Now, I reported this originally as vandalism on Saturday. I showed up with a lot of police. The fire department had been there, and they backed away from the scene. The window was busted. I said, well, maybe it's vandalism. That's all I could get out of the situation. But as we spoke with the people that run it, well, not so much. Let's go back to this case. And as I said before, sometimes you have to adjust things. Here's the scene Saturday with the Meridian Police Department here. This is the Dyslexia Center. This is Highway 39. You know where the car wash is and the liquor store is?
Yeah.
This is before you get there on the right-hand side of the road past Aaron's. This is how entry would be gained to the building, right here. And then this is the gentleman that broke in. Call Meridian Police Department if you happen to recognize this fella. As we go here, that's where you're going into the window there, and you get inside and it's ransacked. Is that a word that I can use?
Yep, that'll do it.
We're going to use it. Ran through the area, grabbed what they could, and out the door they went. We need to put a stop to all of this vandalism, whether they're breaking in or just breaking windows like they did over at Diamond Jim's. We don't need it.
Look for those pink socks.
Yep, can't miss that, can
You
you?
can't miss that. He'll wear them again.
Yes, sir, Bob.
So watch out.
That's one of those stories that kind of brought us over from the weekend there. We did have some gunshots yesterday. We'd put this at 11th Street. Let's pull this up. No one hurt, no one injured, but right in this area here. Here's 11th Street, right in that area there along the 2700 block. Again, always remember, we'll let you know if someone's been hit or injured.
Yeah.
I got in some more pictures, and we just have to really, as you look at Keyfield, Scott Stevens sent us some pictures there of a plane sitting out on the runway. And look at this, Odie. Isn't that gorgeous?
That is beautiful. I mean, that's right shot at the right time, and the filters. I mean, he's got good at these filters now.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it looks like out at Keyfield after the midnight hour. Found that pretty neat looking there. Let's see what else is going on. Meridian Fire Department. I was, matter of fact, I was near you, and the fire truck left, and I got him behind them guys, and we followed him down to Popeyes yesterday. Thought it was going to be a wreck, and it ended up being somebody that needed some medical attention, that had done a bunch of swerving and pulled off to the road. And thank goodness we've got paramedics, as you can see them in the background, helping the gentleman that stopped and had some issues yesterday. Things like that happen. Those guys that wear all of these outfits and first responders, they do so much behind the scenes that we don't even realize.
Oh, it's Engine 3, they stay pretty busy with the interstate, and Station 1, Station 8, 5 is the same. So all our guys, they stay pretty busy keeping everybody safe, and they do an awesome job protecting each and every one of us.
Well, if you were headed down to Chick-fil-A yesterday to get you a big old Chick-fil-A sandwich and you look to your left and you go, wow, what's that?
That got shortened.
Oh, yes, it is. Let's take a look. Let's go to I-20. An accident yesterday. If you'll notice, a chunk of the camper is missing here. You go, well, what in the world would have hit that? Well, let's look at our next photo, and there it is. Crunch.
Ooh. He doesn't look happy anymore.
That F-150 got smacked, and that's going to be major damage to that.
I mean, that takes a lot of
That's a lick.
pressure to move your engine back.
Yes, sir, Bob. That's what went on.
So that aluminum body.
I got a lot of questions yesterday of what is the holdup? Why is traffic backed up? And that was it. You had construction above that, and which slowed it down, and then apparently just not paying attention. I don't know that for 100%, but you would assume that played a factor into this accident yesterday.
Yeah, we don't have the best interstate as it is, especially for the high amount of traffic that we've got, and then you put in construction to it. Man, you've got to really stay on top of your toes when you're coming through here.
And John said, and I agree with John what he just said. I didn't realize that campers were that sturdy, because if you'll look let's go back and look at this. All right, here again. Here's the truck that has the damage where it's being loaded, and then here's the camper. Maybe it's because it hit the steel beam that's underneath there, the back of it.
You got a good bumper, and I'm sure it's not like a DOT bumper, but now the top part of that, there's nothing to that camper.
Oof.
Oh, yeah.
You've been sitting up in the living room.
You'd be up inside of it. But, they've got a pretty steady I-beam construction down there on the bottom.
Campers are made a little better than they used to be, aren't
they? Yeah, they can withstand a little bit more. And
a little different from I Love Lucy. Did you watch that when she was riding in the back trying to go up the hill in the mountains?
There's nothing better than I Love Lucy.
Oh, that was funny.
Man.
Just west of downtown Macon yesterday, we had an accident for our friends in Noxubee County there. This would be out right past the brick plant. Traffic was backed up, an accident there. We hope everybody ended up okay as we go to Noxubee County for that story yesterday afternoon. We have a missing lady that we wanted to bring up. She is from Wilkinson County is where this is from. Mississippi Bureau, as we post this each time, we got a couple of people that are missing here. Wilkinson County, Woodville, 125 pounds, 5 feet 2. She's a nice little lady that's been missing since Sunday. If you've seen her, we'd love for you to contact authorities. The little fellow, Willie, that was missing in Meridian was located.
That's awesome. He's back home now. So that's good. Another family's happy. So let's get this lady back home.
We definitely want that to happen. Did I go over? We did.
No, we didn't. We didn't talk about this fella here yesterday, but
Neshoba County, and I spoke with Eric Clark. I think he went down and had to testify at the trial. We had someone that committed a murder in, if I'm pronouncing this correctly, in Salsa, Mississippi, and then he drove to a family member's house in Noxubee County. A family member called and said, "Eric, I think you need to come out here for a minute."
He's here.
Eric rode out, and this is the situation there. He was pacing back and forth that morning with a gun in his hand. And Eric and them calmed the man down eventually, and he was taken into custody. He stood trial this week, and he'll spend the rest of his life in prison. Murder. It was an argument with a girlfriend that he'd been, she told him to get out.
Yes, said it's over with. You got to go, and
he lost control, and at some point, a suspect in that fired a gun, and she was killed. A jury has found him guilty, and he will serve from now on. Jeremy Charles Childress was his name, and that happened last August.
Never to get out again from taking a life.
I just, senseless.
He took a life, and he will never see daylight again. But you and I are going to be paying over $100 a day for the rest of his life.
Is that what it cost per inmate? Is it a little over $100 a day, or is it even higher than that after you put medical insurance?
It could be higher than that in some aspects. But
I'd like to know that average of what that is.
It's at least $100 a day. By the
I
time it's all said and done.
I know a lot of that comes into play during election time when they talk about jail systems and what it costs to house people and what it costs the taxpayer for everybody. Keep that in mind if you're watching this. Everybody that's arrested ends up costing you more each time that they're arrested. The food, the housing, and I cannot tell you.
You can't make them go garden their own anymore. You know, you used to. You want to eat, you go out there and plow.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way now.
So we got to sit there and do it.
And a lot of times, I'm not saying that everybody, but a lot of times they will kind of try to delay being arrested and go, oh, I'm hurt. We got to have Metro to where they can be taken to a hospital and delay that before they get that. Yeah. That's a pretty common thing that we see. And again, I'm not saying that everybody is not hurt. I'm just saying sometimes people go ow when it's not really an ow.
Yeah, and well, LaWanda says depending on their medical condition. Yeah, because you talk about fully covered insurance.
You got it.
You got it 100% right here. It is every little single thing you need. It doesn't matter what it is or what it costs. We are eating that cost. To keep you behind bars for the rest of your life. You will never see the light of day because you took someone else's life. I've got a little problem with that.
There's a lot of Americans that feel that same way.
Don't say you want to give a cop a raise? Ooh, well, I know where to start trimming some fat at.
Our justice system needs an overhaul for sure, and I think a lot of people agree with that. We'll be back. We got more to talk about. Oh, some of the stuff you're going to even like. We'll be right back. J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes. And they even do work on motorcycles. With the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
Patrick Allen Companies services and repairs all brands of overhead doors, residential and commercial. Our service technicians are factory trained and have over 125 years of combined experiences. At Patrick Allen Companies, we are not interested in being the biggest, just the best. We are just 4 miles south of Meridian on Highway 145. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
Hello, my name's Kenneth Graham, and I'm running for coroner of Lauderdale County. For over 50 years, Lauderdale County's been represented by professional and competent coroners. I would like to continue that tradition. Over the next several months, I want to educate the public on what the coroner does and dispel any myths about the coroner job. I can show you that I will be the most professional coroner there is. So please vote for me August the 8th.
Paid for by the Committee for the Election of Kenneth Graham. Welcome back, Scotty Ray Odie. And I don't know if your sister ever done this to you when you were a little Odie, but put the bowl on your hair and cut your hair.
No, my mama did, though.
Your mama did?
Yeah.
This had to happen to this guy, but he made a living out of looking that way.
He sure did.
Well, we all loved him as a kid. Mr. Green Jeans would come along, Mr. Moose and all of that. Who remembers Captain Kangaroo? And I'm going to let you pronounce his last name since I may not say it right.
Keyshan.
Bob.
Or that's what we're going to go with anyway.
But you couldn't miss that haircut anywhere.
No, you couldn't.
Always that red jacket.
Oh, it was something else. And Amy told me if I don't get my hair cut, she's going to stick a bowl on it and cut around the edges. Charlene said it wasn't me this time. But, yeah, I've got to get this here mop cut.
Back in 1930, a little short fellow then, like this, was born. And he would later run for president. He was a very smart fellow. Anybody remember Ross Perot?
You know,
he was the only one that ever made a little dent into running for president as a third party.
Yeah.
Now, probably did it take away votes from other things? Yeah.
Oh,
but
it did.
He made his mark. Ross Perot. I think he really did care about America, but he did have some issues there. It wasn't all great.
Oh, he definitely cared. And then he had his little tape deck. Some of these people that's watching don't remember those little tape decks. And he'd have, who was it, Patsy Cline?
Yeah.
Sang Crazy. And every now and then he'd stop and play a little bit of Crazy.
19% of Americans voted for him back in the day, though.
Yeah.
1939, they wrote this. This was the scene, 1939, as they were writing the script of Gone with the Wind, and it would be the first ugly word that was really put into a major film. We won't say that, of course, but that was the scene as we look back on that day of when he was heading out to the darkness. They recut that with several different endings of what he said, and in the end, they would go with the word.
Yeah. And that
went down in history.
changed TV, I guess you could say.
You could say that.
Yeah.
Captain Rhett Butler. Scarlett. Y'all know the rest there. I remember I went to Scuba Tech to watch this. Back in the day, you could pay $1 to go watch a movie at the theater there in Scuba. And they done a rerun of Animal House. And I happened to go watch it there. For $1, I got to watch this. Do you remember this guy, James Dalton?
I'd have never known his name.
But you remember him. There he sits. Animal House, one of the funniest comedies that you'll ever...
It was. It was. And old Belushi.
At his best. He didn't make it long past it. The horse scene was probably one that just really sticks out.
It was. We've got to be careful.
But what do we do now?
My preacher buddy's on here watching.
Ooh. You had a preacher in here yesterday. You're just surrounded by preachers.
I know it. I got the good people.
There you are. Happy birthday to Dwayne Rideout celebrating the birthday. Kathy wanted you to have that.
Yeah, and Jennifer, happy 40th birthday to Jennifer. Don't get mad at us. Your mama told us how old you were.
Sure did, yeah. Keep us away from that. And also, Virgil Walters, good morning there. How are you?
That's my preacher
Catherine says that she voted for Ross.
I did too, and I guess we actually elected Clinton by voting for him.
Accidentally?
But I was with you. I still voted for him. I sure did. He was another Trump.
Yeah,
he had the money and he didn't need it, and he didn't want the power because he had it too.
I want to say when
make power better our country.
When he passed away, I want to say he left some money for a campaign of somebody's.
Hey, well, that's not a bad idea, but yeah.
1959, she was gorgeous, and I happened to look at how many times she'd been married yesterday. The page went on, and Sammy was in there somewhere.
So she's hit her max.
Yeah, I think so. Our next Elizabeth Taylor is Lori Morgan. She was born in 59, her dad, of course, being a country legend. In 1959, she was married to Keith Whitley. When he passed away, he died from drinking. That usually gives you I don't think I should date her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she went on to marry Sammy, and he went to drinking. And oh, wait a minute. They started a restaurant together, if you remember that. Didn't all work out there. Have you ever heard the song? And there's no way. There's a lot of professional singers that are watching us right now.
I've been everywhere.
Yeah, could you name all those towns? No. Johnny did it. Hank Snow was the first one that recorded this song. I've been everywhere, man. And then he gets into the towns and blah, 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 blah.
And I mean, spitting them out.
Yeah. Without a flaw. I wonder how many times
Mississippi.
Yeah. How many times they recorded that before they got that song right.
Oh, it had to have been cut.
They use it in commercials. But, in concert they done the song. Wow. Bless their hearts.
You'd have to start out with that song. Or it'd be like, what's your name from the other day?
Oh, Pat.
Oh, I forgot my line.
That does happen. 1964. I never saw this show. It had come and gone before me, but I do have seen pictures of it. Rocky and Bullwinkle ended on this date in 64.
I watched it some.
Never saw it. No,
never saw it.
Don't know what it was about.
The flying squirrel.
I did see reruns of this. This would be the last episode in 66. Anybody remember watching Dark Shadows? It premiered that day. So I got that a little wrong, but it premiered this day in 66 and would run through the 70s, and it was about a guy that was Dracula. Barnabas.
I never got into the Dracula shows.
You didn't? Mm-mm. He'd sleep during the day and then run around all night. I did watch that show
my wife
with...
does that now.
Well, you remember Keith Sutherland, The Lost Boys?
Yeah, I did watch that.
Sort of similar to that in a roundabout way. And then I never did watch The Vampire Diaries, so I don't know much about that.
No, I didn't. No.
1968, America would sit back and be wowed tonight. And it would be forevermore one of the highest rated TV shows that ever happened.
Man.
68, the 68 comeback special aired. Elvis. That leather outfit somewhere in some museum, I forget where.
And it's probably worth
Oh,
anything they want for it.
most definitely. 1975, this little guy, he's one of like 10,000 that have played Spider-Man. This one sticks out in my mind a little bit more than the rest. Tobey Maguire.
I like him better than I do some of the others. He did a good job with Spidey.
Yeah, and it's always the same story over and over and over.
Yeah. Yep.
You ever thought about moving somewhere?
Yeah, and that would have been one.
Let's go to Lukenbach, Texas. Waylon and Willing the Boys. Waylon went number one today in 1977 with Lukenbach, Texas. The successful life we're living, boys. I like that one. Got us feuding like the Hatfields. 1981, this would go number one for Kim Carnes. I'm sure a lot of you remember this.
Yeah.
She's got Betty Davis eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know who come up with that thought, but it was a great song.
Yes, it was.
The cover of this is,
wow.
You have to really credit this guy for becoming the talk show king.
He was somebody who changed the way, I guess, talk shows were. You had, Donahue had his unique way, and then after Phil come along, then you had
The chairman,
Geraldo,
where he just let guests slam it at each other.
and he opened up that empty vault on national TV.
Which one of them was it that was credited where we're going to take a DNA test and find out if you really are the father?
That's golly, he went Jerry Springer.
Springer, he just passed away, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did.
Springer took it to a whole new level.
He went, and now right below Springer is the one that's still on. He's married to one of the news anchor women. Golly.
You got me, Odie.
I'll think of it. But anyway, yeah, Phil Donahue was probably the one who really...
And then along we get Oprah, and everything would evolve to where talk shows were the number one thing that people really enjoyed. Oprah made hers being so big was the gifts that she gave to the audiences.
Oh, yeah, and then how she talked about how Mom and
Maury?
Daddy did her. Maury, that's it. Maury. See, thank y'all.
See, y'all outthink Odie here.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
1999, anybody ever watched The Walking Dead? Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all heard him call this kid's name many a time there. Chandler Riggs was born.
Man, that's it. That was a good, I watched it for a while. I hadn't watched it in any number of years now.
I've missed the last few seasons. I think he's off the show now.
I think he died. He got killed in it or something. Oh, Connie Chung. That's
Connie.
Maury's wife. Yeah.
Sure was. Everybody thinking for you today.
That's right.
One of the funniest guys that ever graced Hollywood would pass away today. And you think of Grumpy Earl, man, those two guys fighting over the next door neighbor that moved in that was in her 60s. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, they was wanting to date her.
Jack Lemmon passed away on this date back in 2001, and he truly was funny, folks.
And that was a good movie. Grumpy Old Men.
Throwing the fish under the sea.
Old Men. Oh, yeah. Y'all just, you need to go back and watch it.
Oh, Scotty Ray Report morning.
Same old sound, and no one's answering. Vote for change. Vote Ben Shirley, District 81 representative, on August 8th. Ben will answer the phone. Ben will get answers in Jackson for District 81. Ben will create jobs and promote economic development for East Mississippi.
I'm Ben Shirley, and I'm asking for your vote in the August 8th Republican primary.
Vote Ben, District.
Are you ready for summer? Massey has a 2021 Jeep Wrangler that's waiting on you with only 61,000 miles. How about a Rogue with 57,000 miles? A 23 Camry with only 50 miles on it. Or maybe it's a Toyota Tacoma four-wheel drive that you're needing. From Silverados to F-250s, Massey Supermart Auto Sales, 1023 Highway 39 North.
Profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
Nothing adds more value to your home than well-manicured landscaping. Distinctive Borders can transform the look of your residential or commercial landscaping with continuous decorative concrete curbing. Distinctive Borders adds an attractive, durable, and permanent solution that will add value and prestige to the overall appearance of your home's landscape. Choose from a custom range of colors and patterns at an affordable price. Locally owned and operated right here in Meridian, Mississippi. Distinctive Borders, 601-490-3678.
Well, as we talk about our friends, you'll find them down at the Farm Supply. What do they got going on there? Well, short sleeve shirts, because it's hot right now.
Oh, yeah.
You need a good pair of overalls to do some outside work. They've got that also there for you. When it comes to the home, anything with gardening that you're needing there, from simple tools, from a rake to a hoe, they've got all of that for you. Kaiser blades and sling blades and things that you'll need. A place to sit down and rest after you've done all that. Or maybe you need to watch somebody else do the work.
Yeah, there's a drink holder. Put your iced tea in it. Man.
Nice. Comfort back and forth. And, of course, all of the bird feeders that you'll need there. End of the year closeouts and, of course, work boots at any given time. And they take care of you when it comes to, well, getting that seed feed and all the above for goats, cattle, all of it. See them there. The Farm Supply. Exit 151 off the interstate. They will help you with anything that you're looking for. Stop what they're doing and help you.
Yeah. Go in there and visit them. Nice people.
All right. As we go about today, we had an accident over the weekend. I didn't get a chance to show everything, but this was at the corner of North Hills as we had a car that got bumped by a rig there, a dump truck that was making a right-hand turn. We got a couple different pictures. That's North Hills Street there. The police were on the scene. Those things do happen around town. Always watch everybody at a red light.
Yeah, especially a truck. You know they take a wide right turns, and just be careful that you're not getting in their pinch zone.
Pinch zone, is that what you call that?
Yeah.
Old 8th Street Road over the weekend also had a fire. We didn't get a chance yesterday to fit this in, but I thought we'd show this. The boys that showed up with the fire truck, the woo-woo lights, and they came out and they put that out there. But a lot of people came out to help with that. I had a bunch of calls about that. What's going on? That's what was going on this weekend there on Old 8th Street Road. Fortunately, we didn't have anybody that I'm aware of at this point in time that was injured by any gunfire, but we did have several mentions over the weekend of things that went on. Let me get back over here. Overnight gunfire did happen on the weekend. 2600 block of 23rd Avenue, 3800 block of Poplar Springs Drive, just to name a few of those areas that had that. Now, no one was hurt or injured. And I had this brought up. Anybody live near Chandler Road, State Boulevard?
Yeah.
Twice we had reports of gunfire from this area, right along in there where they meet. Twice this weekend.
Yeah, that's now you're moving out to a place y'all don't need to come to.
That's right.
A lot more rednecks out that way.
So we'll follow that and see what becomes of this. I had this sent in to us, and if you've never, and which I haven't, been up on top of the 3-foot building at night. You ever seen the view from up there, Odie?
Not personally. I've seen a picture or two here and there, but
this is. Let me pull this up. This was sent in to me. The view at night across Meridian. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous?
I mean, that is beautiful.
You'd almost think that everything was calm and peaceful off looking there. But that is the view if you've never had a chance to visit the 3-foot building after dark up there.
And you tell me that's not a city worth saving.
It absolutely is.
Oh, man. We have got a place right here. We just need to win it back. And, this is a free site. Anybody can come on Facebook, go to Scotty Ray Report, and go on here and look at the history and find out where all these shots fired and take the addresses down. And let's go put some cameras up.
Cameras. Be a great place there.
Yeah, and they make some that are not activated, but they react to a gunshot. So if that camera's focused on one way and it hear a gunshot to its left, that camera will turn around and find the gunfire. We need to get cameras up in these areas that seem to be getting an awful lot of gunfire, and I think we could kind of
chill it down some.
Yeah, we could stop that.
Brenda Harper joining us from Gatlinburg, Tennessee this morning. We appreciate you watching from there so much there. A lot of you tuning in this morning. We did have this, and you don't think about it much, but say the internet went down. Nothing was going on. How would you communicate? Well, there's a group of guys that do this weekend, and they were out up at the mall this weekend, set up, and they done displays here. Ham operators from all across the state showed up there to show what they can do and see how far they could talk. One of your guys was down there, Charlie.
Yeah, so we've got in our weather room, we have a ham radio section, and every single bit of communications can be totally down, but ham radio will always be working. And during disasters, that's one way we can definitely get information in and out. And so Charlie, he's over the ham radio part, and these guys do a lot behind the scenes of getting information to and from places that are down without communications for a time. So it's pretty neat. And if you want to do your ham license, call my office and talk to Charlie.
Get it all set up for you there. This weekend also, there's a stretch of highway from mile marker 134 through about 137 near Enterprise where there's always something going on I-59. This weekend, no different as we go to Clark County here, as we go to Hot Topics here to look at this. This was a truck fire that started on the interstate. Look at this. As we come across and glance at that, look at all of that. Burned to the ground.
Wow. That's terrible.
A Silverado that caught fire there, and who knows how these things happen.
Could be multitude of things, but just definitely hate that for them.
And Dot, you're right. Just because you got cameras doesn't mean that you'll solve everything. You have to have an administration to back up what it's recording. We agree with you on that 110%, and we do hope that one day we will get there.
Yeah, and Austin says, isn't those cameras on the poles with blue lights? So they do have blue lights and red lights. And they do act as a deterrent. And in some areas, they work. But when every camera you've got is labeled with lights, it pushes you to areas that don't have little flashy things hanging on the pole. Mm-hmm. So I believe in some of them having the flashing lights. But then I believe in some of them.
Kind of incognito?
Yeah. So you don't know.
Oh, interesting.
Just be able to pull up some stuff and say, look what we got on camera, because the camera doesn't lie.
Well, I want to invite everybody down. They put this out yesterday, August the 1st, which will be a Tuesday, downtown Meridian at Dumont Plaza. There's going to be a political stump speech, and all of the political candidates in the Republican Party are invited to attend. I'll be emceeing this, hosting this, and we would love to see you. Begin at 6:30. It's going to be right there at Dumont Plaza, and it will be to where candidates get to come out and speak. Now, if you haven't heard and haven't decided who you're going to vote for, this is a great opportunity to bring a lawn chair, come to Dumont Plaza again. This is going to be the 1st of August. I'll be there emceeing it. We'll have them all lined up. They're getting signed up now to come down and be a part of this. But come watch, come listen, and vote wisely. We want you to be there.
Every candidate on the Republican ticket will be down there for this. So definitely come listen to what they have to say and help make your decision the right one.
All right. We'll be right back.
I'm Devin Snowden, Republican candidate for District 1 Supervisor, Lauderdale County. I'm 6th generation Snowden to call this home. This is where I'm raising my family, where I work and serve the landowners of this area, and where we play. I want Lauderdale County to continue to call home. If elected, I'll do my best to make Lauderdale County its best. Please vote for me, Devin Snowden, on August 8th, and remember, I'm not just any candidate, I'm your neighbor.
Paid for by the campaign to elect Devin Snowden.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
It's campaign season. Do yourself a favor and elect Reed Tree Service. Got a tree that scares you each time that it sways in the wind? Elect Reed Tree Service to remove that threat. Have storm winds knocked a tree down in your yard and you want it gone? Elect Reed Tree Service. Professional, experienced, insured. Call Mike, 601 416-1233 and elect Reed Tree Service for all of your needs. Tell them Scotty Ray sent you.
Your local farmer knows a good deal when he sees one. The L-Series Kubota tractor is the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA and offered at Parish Kubota with 0% financing available. Come see why we're more than a tractor store at Parish Tractor.
And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and this is Odie. And if you need a great place to get some gasoline today, this is the place. Look for this little sign here. You'll see it around town. Maple's One-Stop Shop. Now, they got a lot of coffee. You visit with them every morning there for coffee.
And that's it. Not just gas for your car, but gas for us.
That's right.
I definitely go in. Great, nice people. They welcome you in. The building's clean.
I stopped in Causeyville this weekend. She said, tell you thank you for bragging about her tater logs.
Tell you what, them dudes is good.
Try them today. You can find it at Causeyville. You can find it there at the St. Paul store. Great folks, and they're going to be clean bathrooms like you ain't never seen.
Yeah.
On duty all the time. That's what they specialize in. Visit with them. Maple's, right here. Home-owned, home-operated in our area. Let's see. What?
So JC put on here, a buddy of mine. He put on there, he says, how Scotty Ray know everything so fast? And, I've got that same question, and I work for him. I've got that same question because I'll have my pager on, my radio on my side, and my phone will ring, and I'll look down and it'll be Scotty Ray. And I'll say, hello, and he'll say, are you going to that? And I said, going to what? And then I'll look at the phone because somebody's beeping in, and I'll say, well, hold on, dispatch is calling me. Then the tones on the radios will go off. And I said, how in the world do you hear this? And he said, well, I've got about 40,000 reporters that send me stuff.
They do.
So I think people call Scotty Ray before they call 911 because he's on the phone with me before 911 calls me. It's pretty neat, though, JC.
We appreciate all of that. And if you always encounter something, let us know so we can pass it along to others and everybody be saying, look at this, Odie, we're out of time.
Yeah, Wednesday's coming tomorrow, hump day. We're already on this one. I can't believe this. This is the fastest hour, the best morning, the best time you can have. We love you. We thank you. We'll be back in 23 hours. Have a wonderful, blessed day.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.